Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are doing a 24-hour readathon over the weekend. So we're doing 12 hours today, 12 hours tomorrow. It is currently 8:27. We're starting at 8:30, so I need to get going, get comfy downstairs. So first book of the readathon. I finished Lost and Lassoed last night. So because of how the epilogue ended, I do really want to go on and read Wild and Wrangled because I'm very much looking forward to Cam and Dusty's story, and that means we have finished a series in this video, which is very handy. So that would be exciting. I've made some progress this month already with series I'm in the middle of. I've got myself up to date with 2 already. So if I could finish a series this month, that would be really good because I've also started one series and plan to start another series. So let's get cozy downstairs on the sofa and start the first book of the video, Wild and Wrangled. Okay, I have to say, the chapters where we get like the 15 years ago, I am obsessed with them. Chapter 7. Oh my god, I love Dusty. First of all, just Dusty now as a grown adult. I love him. He has like this soft spot for people. He just wants to talk to people and get to know them. He's so helpful and caring, and he's got this like cheeky, charming, fun personality. So I love Dusty. He might be my favourite. I do love Wes as well because he is a funny guy. Like, he's a very caring guy. But Dusty might be my favourite. But him, as like a 17-18-year-old, writing Cam a note saying her name's pretty and she's pretty, and then asking her a bunch of questions like her favourite colour, favourite food, what's the last TV show that made you laugh? Oh yeah, what do you like MHS so far? What's your favourite part about it? Me, winky face. Like, I just love him. He's so cute. This one is shaping up to currently be my favourite of the series. But we'll see. There is every chance it could go wrong. I don't know what happened. I feel like it's probably just like a big miscommunication that's happened 15 years ago. I doubt Dusty did anything really wrong, and I doubt Cam did anything really wrong. Yeah, I'm loving the 15 years ago chapters more at the moment than the current chapters. But I do love Dusty. He's so sweet. We're in another 15 years ago chapter, and he went to her like soccer game. What was it, football? Soccer. Well, it's football for the Brits. And he wrote her jersey number on his cheek. Like, he got one of the cheerleaders to draw her jersey number on his cheek, and he was like watching the whole time. He's so cute. He is absolutely adorable. Oh, now he's going to visit Anne. Right, okay, Dusty is just the perfect man. Oh, I love him so much. Okay. Oh, it's just coming up to 10 hours left, so we're about 2 hours through the readathon. I am on chapter 18, 124 pages in. Oh, we've just seen their first kiss from when they were like teenagers. It was so cute. The whole like day they had, going for a hike, and then what happened towards the end, and Dusty being the sweetest man and so understanding and so sensible. When do you ever see a teenage boy be sensible? Literally ever. I love seeing them when they're teenagers because they just have the cutest, most wholesome, most perfect first love. Like, as we are at the moment. Obviously something's going to go wrong in the future, but currently they just have the sweetest first love. They became such good friends. He is the nicest guy ever, and like his family loves her. I just love them. Okay, just when I think this man could not get any better, it's now Christmas. Okay, first of all, unrelated to Dusty and Cam, Amos. I love that man. The way in which this series reminds me of Chestnut Springs, obviously it's cowboys, but it's the fact they both have the same, like, strong, loving, willing to take anyone in, head of the family. I love Amos. He is just, the way he just loves everyone and accepts everyone. He just wants to bring everyone into the family. Like, oh, I love him. So yeah, they have a really cute, like, Christmas setup. Dusty made everyone their gifts. Like, he bought the three girls, Teddy, Emmy, made the three girls, Teddy, Emmy, and Ada, like a little, I think was it a jewellery pouch? Or like a little jewellery box made of like leather. Yeah, little jewellery cases. So he made the three girls jewellery cases. I think he probably like personalised them the same as he did with Ada's. He made Ada like these three like leather like things she can use for work basically. And he made Riley a little leather bracelet. Like, with flowers on because he knows Riley loves flowers. So his mom is a carpenter. She made like a wooden pen and he knows the size tip of a pen that she prefers. I don't know anyone's preferred size tip pen. I don't think I even have one and I love stationery. The fact he knows her preferred paper type and he knows her preferred pen nib size. This man yearns like no other. Bring back yearning. And Dusty, I just love this man. He is the sweetest, most thoughtful, most caring. I think even if I wasn't doing this challenge, I would do nothing but read this book today. Because I just need more of him. This is not a big enough book. It's like only 320 pages. Oh. There's a short story at the end of this. Oh, there's Emmy's wedding at the end. Okay, the story itself is like 320 pages, I think. 324. But then we have a wedding at the end. That takes us to 340. So that's exciting. But this book is not going to be long enough for what I want. I'm nearly halfway through. The fact that Dusty is like fully tatted up as well and is a cowboy, so he probably looks quite tough. Oh, and he called her Angel. I fear this book just seems worlds apart from the rest of the series. I don't know how to explain it. It just is. If he has written her letters, if this book is the notebooking me, if he has written her letters and like kept them to himself or notes over the years of them being apart, I swear to God. And he keeps the box on his coffee table. He has took it around the world with him. Why do you keep them? Because they're all I had left of you. Also, when I mentioned yearning before, this is what I mean. In his point of view, he said when I looked up at her, she was looking at me the way I had been dreaming she would since I came home. Does this make it better or worse? She's holding his face. He said worse. And if I kissed you right now, worse, but do it anyway. I love this man. The yearning. Forget Mr. Darcy. We are here for Mr. Dusty right now. Okay, I'm on chapter 32, nearly 250 pages in, and we've just found out the reason that they broke up. And considering their age, it was such a reasonable reason to break up. It just makes sense. It wasn't a miscommunication. It was like just what happens when you're young. Like, you want different things, you love each other, but it's not working because you're going in different places at that time. It was right person, wrong time, rather than someone's messed up or someone said something in anger and they've upset someone. Hopefully now obviously now it's right person, right time because it's a romance book and obviously it's going to be better. But Yeah, also we've just had the first real, we had like a mini smut scene and then we've had the first proper smut scene. And I haven't gotten on with Lila Sage smut, okay? I feel like the Unadjusted, I can't remember what I felt, but I know Swift and Saddled and Lost and Lassoed especially, I didn't enjoy the smut. But this one, it's better. It's definitely a lot better than it was. There was no cringiness, so I can't complain. It's not the best smut I've ever read, but I can't complain. Also, we are now 8 hours. No, we're not 8 hours into it. We're 4 hours into it. We've got 8 hours left for the day, so not bad. I'm sorry, but I mean, we all know Gus has been not too happy with the idea of Dusty with Cam. I don't know why. I think he's just protective of Cam. But Gus and Dusty having a little bromance, bro hug, because they're celebrating Riley at a soccer game is the cutest thing. Like the idea that they were just both so excited that they just randomly hugged. I love it. All for one little girl. I like how the last book and this book, we get a lot of Riley because the third book is about Riley's dad and the fourth book is about Riley's mum. So it's a lot about how everyone just loves Riley so much, and it's really cute. I'm in the last couple of chapters now, and all I can say is Cam has just been a complete dickhead. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, that was really good. And the last chapter after the book had finished of Emmy and Luke's wedding was so good. I'm gonna rate this one a 4.5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was so good. And that last chapter's had me so teary because I'm like, oh, it's ended now. I love this. Thing is, the stories I maybe haven't been quite as moved by, but I love this found family. I really genuinely love this found family. And the fact that it's over, and like the fact that we got like a last chapter of the main family with Amos, with Emmy, Gus and Wes, and them sitting and sort of talking to their mum. And I was like, oh, that was so cute. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I have no idea what to read next. I need to pick something. I don't know whether to pick something on my Kindle, because I still need to read 2 Kindle books this month. So I'm tempted to pick something on there. Okay, we have 6 hours and 20 minutes left today. So I've read this in 5 hours, 40 minutes. That's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that. Okay. I could read Bone Island because I read, what was it called? Hollow Heathens last year. I want a standalone because I'm already starting so many books, but I don't think I have a standalone on here. Oh, I do have one called Baby Moon or Bust on here, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for that. I might just have to start a new series because do I do Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton? How long is it? I don't want a book that's super long. It's only 432 pages. Do I do Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton because it's completely unhinged? I don't know. I kind of want to do that for a different video actually. Oh, what should I read? Okay, we're wasting time. I think I need to pick something from upstairs. So let's go upstairs and have a look at my bookshelves because I don't know what to do. I feel like in my defense, I read a lot of King of Envy on my Kindle and I read a lot of Lost and Lassoed on my Kindle. So in some ways I have read 2 books on my Kindle this month. In some ways. We could do Great Big Beer by Emily Henry. We could do This Is How You Lose the Time War, which is lovely and quick, but it's not something I normally read. I don't know if I'll be able to binge it. We've got Between Love and Loathing by Shane Rose, which is like the next one in a series for me to read. We could also do Enchantra by Kaylee Smith, which is also a book that's like continuing a series. I'd be up to date with this. Or there's, you know, Every Other Shelf on my TBR. Oh, there's no audio. I would like an audio so that when I'm sorting food and eating, I can still like listen so that I'm not pausing the timer. That's what I want ideally, so not that one. I don't think Between Love and Loathing will have one. Ooh, But if, let's get the lighting right. If we continue with like trying to read things that is completing or continuing a series, we do have the prequel to Legends and Lattes, Bookshops and Bone Dust, which does have the audio on Spotify. And I've been wanting to read this one for a while. Because this one is how Viv got the idea to do the coffee shop. This one I can read today and it'll be done today. So I think I'm going to do this. Because also I've read I've read 4 contemporary romances this month, and then 1 very long fantasy romance. So maybe a little bit of something different would be good just for a bit of variety. So we're going to go with Bookshops and Bone Dust. Okay, I've listened to the first 4 chapters while I made myself a matcha and have accidentally put too much vanilla in it, but it's fine. We're still drinking it for the energy. And I have a bowl of fruit. I've got apple, grapes, strawberries, and I'll be honest, slightly underripe kiwi. But we're trying to be healthy, so. I don't think this is how she got the idea for the coffee shop. It says high fantasy, first love, secondhand books. So there might be a bit of romance in here. We'll find out. I have realised this might not be the kind of book I can binge though. But we're going to have to give it a go. Okay, I'm over 100 pages in on chapter 15. And I'll be honest, okay, the first few chapters I listened to when I made my matcha and sorted my fruit out, I don't think they went in my brain. So I can't remember how this started, just that she got injured. And then I started getting real sleepy, okay, which I had the matcha to try and avoid that. It didn't work. So I put the audiobook on and just closed my eyes. I think I might have actually fallen asleep for probably about 10 minutes. So I reread one of the chapters, but I think I fell asleep before that chapter. So the very beginning of the book, a little bit not all there for me. And then like maybe a chapter or 2 around the chapter 10 mark, also not quite there for me. But I'm so far enjoying it. But I also feel like I'm missing something, so I don't feel like I'm enjoying it as much as I should. Necessarily. There's been a little bit of action, there's a little bit of a mystery going on with this man who, for some reason, sets Viv's, like, fight or flight off. Like, she just feels very wary of him. And he's, like, escaped. He's caused him more injury. So, we don't know who he is or what he is. We've got Galena from the first book in this, but I can't remember who she was in the first book. I just recognise the name, which doesn't help, quite honestly. But I read the first book a long time. When did I read Legends and Lies? April 2024, so over a year ago. I can't remember who Galena is. I think she's just a member of her like group that she was fighting with, but I feel like there was more to her. I'm not sure though. Anyway, I'm going to listen to the audiobook for a little bit. I've got some washing to sort out and I could do with doing some dishes and standing up. So I'm going to listen a bit more and then I'm going to try and physically read the rest of it, because I don't think listening to this book is helping me read it, to be honest. I don't know if it's just the voices that he's putting on that's making it hard for me to listen to, or what, but anyway. Okay, we've got just under an hour and a half left. It's 7 o'clock and I have about 60 pages left. I'm on chapter 36, page 270. I did listen to the audiobook while I did some dishes and while I've cooked my tea. I made stir fry. And actually the audiobook's working for me now. I think it's just when I was tired and when I'd first started it, it was not working for my brain. Now it is, and it's fine, but I still prefer physically actually reading the book. I am enjoying this more than Legends and Lattes. I loved Legends and Lattes. I thought it was so cozy. It felt like a cozy farming sim, but like a cafe sim, not a farming sim, I suppose. But that's the kind of thing, that's the vibe it gave. This one's got that slight like adventure mystery. There's like it's not high stakes by any means, but it's higher stakes. And there's a bit more going on. And then there's like a little like kind of relationship happening. But In Legends of Lattice there was a romance, but it was so like minuscule and it like barely started in the book. Whereas there's like more romance happening, but still not a lot. It's not the main point of the story. It's very much a side thing. And there's another side character that's basically this tiny little bone creature and called Satchel, and I kind of love him. I think he's slightly adorable. The Ratkin has like a pet. What's it called? A griff. Oh, my brain's completely forgot what it's basically a baby griffin. But I can't remember what the word is. Griffith, that's it, Griffith. It sounds adorable and I love it. And there's a little photo like in the front. I imagine this is maybe like the American cover. But we've got Viv and then the rat kid whose name I've completely forgotten off the top. Why have I forgotten? Fern. I knew that. And then, yes, we've got Fern, the Ratkin, Viv, and then Potluck, the Griffith. And I just love it. Like, come on, look at that little face. It's so cute. So, yeah, the characters I'm really enjoying in this book. The plot I'm really enjoying. The setting. I'm just enjoying it slightly more because it's got that little bit more plot to it. It's not just, let's get this cafe up and running. Oh, we have a new recipe and we have another new recipe. Do you know what I mean? Like, Legends of Lattice was more than that, but at the base that's kind of how it felt. This one, I don't know, it's just really, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. So I'm gonna finish the last 60 pages. That'll take me about an hour, so I'll have like 20 pages left, so I might use that 20 pages to update my reading journal for today. One thing about this book, obviously it's in the title, it's bookshops and bone dust. The feeling of this bookshop and how everyone loves to read, but it's the fact that everyone's reading smutty romantasy. Like, even the men, they're just like obsessed with this one author that's from their village slash town slash city. I don't know how big it is. And like literally everyone kind of loves the smutty romance books. And this book is written by a man. And not to generalise, but there are a lot of men who don't respect a romantasy and like a bit of spice, you know? So clearly this guy respects it because he's voted into his story as a completely like valid and fun. It's really nice to see. And everyone's enjoying it. All different types of fantasy creatures, men, women, just everyone's loving a good smutty little fantasy. And I mean, why wouldn't they? They are fun, they are delightful. But I just love that that's part of this story. I don't know why, I wasn't expecting it. But I appreciate it as someone who also loves a smutty romantasy. I feel seen by this book. So thank you, Travis Baldry, for representing the smutty romantasy lovers. Okay, I finished it. I have 13 minutes left on the timer, so I'm not going to bother starting to read anything else tonight. I'm going to use that time to A, catch up with you, and B, to sort out my reading journal for today. I think I'm going to rate this a 4.5 stars as well, because I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm going to reread the first couple chapters just to like have that in my brain. But this was so cozy. And at the end, oh, we find out her and Tanjri, we got like a little, because obviously this is a prologue to Legends and Lattice. So we got a little epilogue of Viv like now in Legends and Lattice, but after the events of Legends and Lattice, her and Tanjri, and it's just, yeah, it's really cute, and the letter she gets, and I want more. I want more of what could happen there. It would be lovely if a third book did come out about, yeah, following the epilogue. I would love that so much. I doubt that's going to happen though, because these two books were just a perfect little duet. But this was so cozy. This was so cozy. They found family to have, and even though like I don't want to say anything to like ruin anything for anyone, but yeah, it was really good. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I haven't been like, oh, I just want to put this down and do something else or read something else. I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute of reading this. So I do highly recommend reading both these books. This is a prequel, but because of the epilogue, read Legends and Lattes first. I'm going to go update my reading journal, and I will see you tomorrow for the next 12 hours of this readathon. I don't know what I'm going to read tomorrow. I haven't a clue. But isn't that the fun of it? I can just wake up tomorrow and just decide I'm going to read something. So, yeah, I will see you in the morning. Okay, it's 8:29. I have been listening to J-Hope's new song, Killing It Girl, on loop for the last 25 minutes. I can't lie to you. And nearly everyone is back. Okay, we were just waiting for Yoongi on the 21st, but I'm nearly no longer a military wife. Okay. My baby Jungkook is back. Okay, I was going to put my BTS one of these on, but it's in the wash, so we've gone with Jungkook. Anyway. Okay, it is very nearly past. Today we are reading 7 Days in June because I really wanted to read this in June. And I couldn't find it in my Waterstones, but I managed to find it because Hachette is now on TikTok Shop. And this was being sold. Quakers must be under Hachette. And it was half the price as it would have been in Waterstones. So I was like, I have to get this. So as far as I'm aware, this is 2 authors that maybe used to be together or had some sort of thing. And now they're like writing about each other. So she's a best-selling erotica writer. And he's an award-winning novelist. If she's writing about him and it's erotica, then it's kind of giving yourself away, babe. Like, can't lie. But I've heard nothing but good things about this book. So, okay, it is officially past. Let's get the timer going. Okay, timer has started. Let's get into 7 Days in June. Okay, I'm on chapter 5. I've listened to the last couple of chapters on audiobook because I've made my breakfast. I've made a bacon sandwich and a green tea with honey. I don't know why, but a bacon sandwich with a green tea. It is a good combination. So, we're an hour in. We're exactly an hour in now. So far, I'm enjoying it. We've just had our first Shane chapter. So, it seems we've got Eva, who has like a chronic illness with migraines, and she's had a not ideal upbringing. And then we've got Shane, who, I don't know if he was an alcoholic or a drug addict or both, but he's now clean. And I think he's wanting to make some kind of contact with her. But he makes, now that he is clean, he tries to improve Black children's lives in very low income areas and in areas where they're being like punished just for being Black. So he's kind of made his mission to try and help as many kids as possible because he currently is not writing, and I love that. Like, that's such a, I don't know. So yeah, we've met both characters now and I'm enjoying it so far. So I'm gonna listen while I eat so we're not wasting time, and then I'm gonna go back to actually physically reading the book. Okay, this is getting good. I'm like 70 pages in. I'm reading this quite slow for my normal reading speed because it's been nearly 2 hours. How has it been nearly 2 hours and I'm only 70 pages in? Anyway, they have finally had, like, this is a really bad angle. They finally had an interaction. And she said, stop writing about me. And he said, you first. I really quite like Shane. I think, so they've just had a panel and he was there like in the audience but got brought on stage. And because he's such a big deal and he never does anything, doesn't talk publicly, like he's a little bit, he's a very unreliable person as a celebrity, as an author. He doesn't do interviews, he really is a bit strange. But because his books are so highly praised, he's kind of sought out as this genius, and anytime, like, because he was seen in the audience, they've kind of jumped on that opportunity to add him to the panel. But the panel was about how Black authors are like impacted, obviously because of racism and all that kind of thing. It was specifically about black authors in the literary space, racism, all that kind of thing. And then it just turned into a big Shane panel, and he didn't want that. He didn't want to be on there, obviously. He was just like watching from like the very back of the auditorium, and he was trying like not to, he's not good at public speaking, clearly. He was trying not to have it about him, and like everyone's annoyed, but I felt bad for him because A, he didn't want to be on that panel, and B, he really didn't want it to be about him. But then Eva's annoyed. And also she's seeing him for the first time since she was, what, 17? She said 12th grade. So is that like second to last year of high school? I don't know how the grades work. But I imagine she was like 17, 18. Whereas the last time she saw him. So, yeah, anyway. Also, he's got a G on his wrist. And she's got an S. Just saying. They must have done that as teenagers. And now she has two characters. Like, she's very clearly written about them both. Because of her real name being Genevieve, not Eva. You learn that very early on. Because like, there's a chapter from her point of view in 2004. And she's very clearly not called Eva. Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I'm obviously reading it very slow for some reason. So I'm going to try and pick up the pace a little bit because we have another book that is bigger than this to read today. But this is really good. There's a sudden there's some tension starting. I can see the next chapter, we're back in 2004. Maybe this is when they meet. Yeah, it's very interesting, that is for sure. Okay, we have 8.5 hours left, and I'm only halfway through this book. I don't know what's happening to me today, but I'm definitely reading this a lot slower than I normally would read. It's been nearly 4 hours, and I've only read 160 pages. That's so not like me. I would read 180 pages in 3 hours. Anyway, so far we've just had, it's her name, I want to call her Audrey. It's more like Audrey, like Andre, but with an AU. We just had a chapter with her, and it was so sweet how much she idolises and loves her mum. It was really sweet. Things are kind of like progressing between Eva and Shane a little bit. There's been a little bit of a change there. And we still don't really know much about what happened back in the day. All we know is that they spent 7 days together when they were 17. And that's it. And they have this bond that just seems, I don't know. So I'm interested to find out more about what happened back in the past. I've got a while until I think the next past chapter. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go on my walking pad while I read this for a while just to get up and moving. And then it's 12 o'clock, it's nearly lunchtime. I need some food as well. So I'll keep you up to date with reading this. But I am really enjoying this so far. There's 5 hours and 18 minutes left on the timer. This has took me so long to read. I don't know why, compared to what I normally do. Well, it's took me 6 hours, 40 minutes. That's really not that bad when I think about it. I don't know what I'm reading this. I've really enjoyed it. I really have. A lot of their story has been just so tragic and heartbreaking. They both had awful childhoods, and when they first met, they were just drowning and trying to float with each other, and it wasn't working, and they needed the time apart, and he needed to get sober realistically, and they both grew a lot. And I think it's been a lot of will they, won't they, and obviously it's a romance book, obviously they will, but some of the will they, won't they was a little bit unnecessary. I think a lot in romance books, it's kind of like, oh, you can't be with someone until your trauma's healed. I don't agree with that. I do agree that you should love yourself before you love anyone else. Because you should know how you deserve to be treated, so that the person you're with, you pick someone that's actually good for you. However, if you're with someone and something bad happens to you, you don't just break up with them because you have to get through that trauma alone. So I don't agree with the thought of if you have something bad's happened to you and you need to work on it. I don't agree with the belief that you have to do that on your own. Because if that had happened when you were already with that person, you'd be not going through it alone. And I think it's healthy to go through things with people. I think it's healthy to know how to go through things on your own if you ever are. But it's also not a bad thing to depend on the people that love you and to share that burden of grief and pain with someone because it helps you get through it. So some of the stuff... So I don't know, that kind of annoyed me slightly because it was unnecessary. Also, I don't understand why the epilogue was the epilogue, because it wasn't an epilogue. You just raced through like a month or two, something like that, like a month probably, for no reason. It was just to very quickly wind it up. So it wasn't an epilogue, it was just a cop-out. So I'm going to rate this 4 stars, I think, because I really, really, really enjoyed it. I loved the story, loved the love story. Realistically, these two fell in love over the course of like, well, it was a week when they were 17, and then like what? I don't think it was only a week in the now timeline, because the math doesn't make sense. But in a couple of weeks, they fell in love over 15 years, but in a few weeks. So it was very quick, but they just have this spark, this connection that just seems to make sense. So I did really enjoy it a lot. There was a lot of character growth, character progression, and there wasn't a lot of plot, so this book probably is more of a character study type romance. But I highly recommend. But a couple of things about the ending did slightly annoy me. But yeah, I do really enjoy this. It's a very like romantic but tragic love story. So yeah, with that being said, we have 5 hours and 15 minutes left, which will not be enough time to finish this book. However, I am going to go into Great BBL by Emily Henry. This one I'm going to go into with no expectations, because every Emily Henry book I've read has been a 5 stars. However, this book I've seen people rate 5 stars or 3 stars. So who knows what I'm going to think of this book. It is 400 pages, so I think it's going to take me more than the 5 hours to read this. But it's a hardback, so the writing will be bigger. And generally I find I fly through Emily Henry's books. So yeah, let's just get started on this straight away, because God knows I have so much to read. Okay, we have just over 3.5 hours left, and I'm just under 100 pages in. And so far, this does feel like an Emily Henry book to me. I'm really enjoying it. I don't understand why people are like, I can't see a vibe. I'm seeing a vibe between the two of them. I don't know. It's just a very low-key vibe, but there is definitely something there for a romance to build on. So yeah, I'm aware that it's not as romance heavy, so maybe that's why I'm mentally prepared for that, so I can just enjoy it for what it is, maybe. But I'm really intrigued to hear about her, is it Margaret's life, but I'm also really intrigued about the little romance that we're gonna have. So yeah, I've not got a lot to say, but I am enjoying it currently. It's just Emily Henry, she's so easy to read. She just gives enough. She opens the books so well that just gets you straight away hooked into the characters and the story. I really like Alice as a main character. She's clearly had something happen where, like with her sister, I'm guessing obviously with her sister's health, that's kind of stuck with her. But she's just such an optimistic, kind person. And I really like that. She just is a really nice main character. She's the kind of person who can just be friends with anyone, is happy just to talk to anyone. She kind of gives, I like how this book is yellow. She gives yellow. She's a very sunshiny type person. So I really like Alice as a character. And Hayden at first seemed really grumpy, but I think like, and kind of cold, but I think he's just really reserved, probably because he spent his whole childhood in the public eye with his dad being mayor of whatever town he was in. But I think he's just really reserved and private, and he's got his goals, and his last memoir, I think, really impacted him in a way that probably made him quite quiet, and I don't know. But I quite like him as well. I just think, kind of like Alice, I just see the best in him, rather than being like, oh, he's just a bit of an ass. I think there's more to him and to his character, and I think it's, like I say, just he's a more quiet, reserved person, and maybe it takes a little bit more to get to know him, and once you do get to know him, I think you'll find a nicer, more open person. But at first, I think he seems quite standoffish, which is fair enough. So yeah, I'm going to continue reading this for the next 3.5 hours, and then I don't think I'm finishing this in 3.5 hours though. I can tell you that for now. So, okay, we have just over an hour left, and I'm only just over halfway. I'm on chapter 21, page 225 out of like 400 and something. I'm definitely not getting this finished in the next hour, and I might, if I feel like it, finish it tonight, so I'll just read extra. Or I might not. I'm going to see how I feel in an hour's time. So far, I'm really enjoying this book. I'm enjoying the romance, and I'm enjoying the other aspect. I have to say, I still feel like there's a decent amount of romance in this book. Yes, we're learning a lot about Margaret and her family. Most of it has been not about her in the slightest. But she's clearly had to go back for some reason. She's going back to how her family got their fortune in general. And clearly there's like a penny that hasn't dropped yet. But I don't know. I can't decide who's going to get this job to write the book. It really could go either way. I'm not going to be surprised by either one, because there's logic there. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance. So there's no one in particular I'm thinking, oh, it's definitely going to be them. So I'm not really bothered who gets it either, because I feel like neither of them will really blame the other for it. I want her to get it because it means a lot to her because of her dad. So I don't know. That's the 12 hours. What are we on? 5%. Okay, I'm nearly on 290. I'm getting close. I've got like 127 pages left. So I don't think I'm finishing this tonight. But what I'm gonna do is wrap up the video when I have finished this book, so I can give you my full thoughts. But for 24 hours, we have read, I'll put on screen, this many pages. I'll make a note of what page I'm on. Really enjoying this so far. It's not feeling like the 5-star like the rest of them were, but it is still feeling like a high rating. Yeah, I will let you know how I felt when I finished reading the book. But yeah, 3 2/3 of a book finished in 24 hours. That's not too bad. Normally I finish 4, but you know what? I was slower at reading today, and that's fine. I've still enjoyed every single book. Every single book I think this is going to be at least a 4 stars. So we've had a 4.5, a 4.5, a 4, and then whatever this is going to be. So we've had some good ratings, but like I say, I'll probably wrap everything up when I finish this book. So I will see you in the wrap-up clip of this video. Okie dokie. It's Tuesday morning. I finished Great Big Beautiful Life last night at like 11 o'clock and I was half asleep, so I thought I would update you this morning. I think I've decided my final rating for this is going to be 4.25 stars. I gave it like a 2.5 chili pepper rating. It's not spicy, but I feel there's more spice than other Emily Henry books. Maybe not book lovers. But beach read, I would say there's more in this. People Meet on Vacation, there's more in this. I don't know, there was more than I thought there was going to be for this. Everyone telling me this was very not romance heavy. I don't understand. Because I thought there was a proper romance in this. I was living for it. So I'm confused why people are like, oh, it's just not as romantic as I thought it was going to be. This was an Emily Henry book. However, it wasn't a 5 stars for me, unfortunately. I was slightly disappointed by the ending, the revelation, and how quick everything sort of went. Yeah, I was slightly, not disappointed by it necessarily, but it just didn't hit the same. I feel like the ending was ever so slightly rushed. It was just what's the word I'm trying to say? Reconciliation, maybe. That was very quick and just sort of blown over. And then next thing you know, it's just like, this is what's happened, and it's like, okay, a bit much, a bit soon. I don't know. But it was good. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. I loved the romance. I liked learning about Margaret's life. A lot of it was about her great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather. But then when you get to the end, you understand why she had to say so much of her previous family's life. So, yeah. I don't think I have a whole lot to say about this book, but I did enjoy it. It just wasn't a 5 star for me, unfortunately. But that being said, I did still really enjoy it. So, I mean, this video, so we had a 4.5, another 4.5, a 4, and a 4.25. So this has been a very successful 24-hour readathon. So yeah, and we've had we've had a cowboy romance, a cozy fantasy, I don't even know how I would describe 7 Days in June. It is a romance, but there's more to it. And then like a lit fic romance. Yeah, we've had it's been a really good 24-hour readathon. And I'm so in the mood for reading still. It hasn't burnt me out, thank God. I have so many books I want to read. I have a week off at the beginning of July. Me and my mum are going to a log cabin for 5 days. Well, not on the 5th day, we have to leave at 10. But basically 4 full days and a tiny bit of a morning. And I am so excited. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let me know what you thought of Great Big Beautiful Life in the comments below, because I'm interested in other people's opinions of it. And I will see you in the next video.